Welcome to the 14th edition of Facebook Live, ESB Outspoken with Angela and Richard Shell.
Hey, you guys may have noticed that we have an extra guest today. There's actually 3 of us on the set, and Angela and I are dressed just a little bit different from normal. It's because this is Elvis week and we're honoring Elvis, and our question today really honors Elvis because you're going to be all shook up. And
the perfect question for today, and it comes from Bobby Scott in Nashville, Tennessee. We have been hosting the same meeting for 10 years now, and I feel that it's time to change things up, shake it up. Do you have any suggestions on how to make the event more exciting and memorable?
Well, Bobby, let me tell you, that is a great question. In fact, the most intriguing question that we've had so far, because this happens to every meeting planner. They just get in a rut. And I'm going to tell you, we've got a great solution for you with the help of Lisa Bodell, Kill the Company. She's author of Kill the Company. She helped us with some of these questions. And what you need to do, though, as an event planning team is sit down, get together, and go through the 4 questions we're about to discuss. And I'm going to talk about the first one. The first one is this. When you're doing a meeting, what are all the things that you're assuming you need to do when you put that meeting together? Now, what if the opposite were true? What would that look like? And see, what that happens to be is maybe today, for example, you do a couple of keynotes usually at a meeting to start it off, and then the afternoon is filled with breakouts. What if you switched it around and put the breakouts first and the keynotes last? It's these kind of things you need to start thinking about. And Ange, question 2.
Okay, it goes right into that. If you could not do anything that you've done in the past, what would that look like? So what I suggest on this one is take your agenda and put it on the whiteboard. Write down everything that you do right now, and then give your team a task of coming up with what they want the meeting to look like next year, but they can't use anything that's on the list.
Absolutely.
So they're gonna have to get really creative, because you just kind of get in that, like we said, the rut of it's gonna be like this year after year. So you gotta really open your mind. If it's not gonna be on this list, what's it gonna look like? And I guarantee you're gonna have some crazy things come out of it, but that's what you're looking for. You're looking for things that are a little bit crazier and shaking it up.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the third question is, if there's only one thing that you could focus on to make your meeting a success, what would it be and why? Now that could be all kinds of things. Maybe you want to focus on the speakers and have the best speakers possible.
Yeah.
Or maybe you just want to have it at a great venue. But once you've established what's the most important thing to you, you're half of the way there in changing up your meeting and getting yourself out of that rut. Ange,
right.
4th question.
Okay. If you had, this is my favorite, if you had unlimited funds for this meeting and you could spend money on anything you want, what would you spend it on? Okay, here's where you're really going to get creative, is look at things you can spend money on. So if money was not an object, would you hire a production company? Would you have a band to come in and do a big party at night? Would you have somebody cater the food that's really going to go all out? I mean, there's all kinds of other things. You can bring in a company that helps you collect the data to see, what people are excited about for the event. So this will get you, again, thinking about new things you can have at your event. Because yes, it's going to be outrageous, and you're going to come up with ideas. Maybe you bring in the celebrity that you've always wanted instead of just a standard keynote speaker. But it'll make you step back and look at what's really important to you.
And it gets you creative.
And
yes.
Even though you can't spend all the money on everything, maybe you can pick out pieces of it and work towards that and get something really big for your next event.
Oh, yeah, absolutely great. And I'm telling you, guys, if you ask yourself these 4 questions and you really take advantage of it, it will really shake up your meeting. But when you're doing your planning, don't you be cruel. And always keep Executive Speakers Bureau on your mind. You be outspoken.